Good evening, dear viewers. Welcome back to my channel. It's so good to see my family grow, and I'm really, really grateful to all of you for making my family big because coming from the old school, I have always believed in a joint family, a big family. So the more, the merrier. And now let's get back to work. And today, as you can see behind me, the line says back to school. Okay, we are all going to get back to school very soon. The new session is going to begin, and it marks a big, big change in the entire teaching and learning process with the implementation of the National Education Policy 2020, which has found its way ultimately into our schools and education. So now, the big question which arises is that how do we motivate our children? They've had a long break, and going back to school after a long session of play and staying at home, it's not an easy task. So, this is what I thought of today to make a presentation on how to motivate our children, the young ones especially, how to get them back to studies. It's a Herculean task, things are not easy, and the basic reason is distractions. So let's see, we are going to discuss everything in detail. So here I share my presentation with you. Yeah, here we are. Welcome back to Eloquent English Enterprise, my channel, specially made for educators and, of course, our very dear students. So, let's see what we have in store for us today. Welcome back to school. Okay, the new session is going to begin with effect April 2025. And these are the problems which I'm sure all of us, as educators, teachers, parents, even guides, okay, facilitators, we are going to face when our children get back to school. So now, the big question for today is how to motivate our young children to study well. Okay, they have to be motivated to understand the importance of education and studies, especially when they are in no mood to study at all. Study they do. Okay, children do sit down with their bags and books and everything, but are they attentive? I don't think so. It's not easy for them as well because they have to put all their capacities, their attention, everything into their study matter. So how do you push? Not push, basically, you are motivating. So a child who is showing very little interest in studies, it could be a very challenging kind of a task to motivate them. But if we take the right approach, we ignite their enthusiasm and encourage better study habits, I think it's within reach. It's not something which cannot be handled. So, we are going to discuss a few strategies to motivate our young friends when they are found to be really, really reluctant to study. Okay, the first thing is we need to create a positive study environment. I'll just make myself invisible. Right. So, for everything you need a very proper kind of an environment. So, to make our children study, we need to ensure that they have a comfortable, distraction free space which is totally dedicated to studies. So if we have a well-organized environment with proper lighting, least of interruptions, minimal interruptions, it's going to help them focus better. And also it will create a sense of discipline. The second one is let us set up small achievable goals. Bigger tasks can be broken down into smaller tasks which are manageable. The goals have to be manageable. This helps the child feel less overwhelmed and it provides a sense of accomplishment when they complete each step. So once they complete a particular step, celebrate their little progress, boost their morale, confidence, and that, of course, is going to result into better motivation. Now, this is something really important because everyone needs a break and also rewards. So, when you are making your child study, allow for short, frequent breaks during study sessions because this was going to keep them feel refreshed. They will feel refreshed. These breaks can be paired with very small rewards. Now, I'm not talking about giving them money or something, no. Something which they like, maybe some sweet dish, some kind of a little knick-knack, a favorite snack can be served, and maybe a few minutes of playtime, small little games, and I'm sure that's going to add to their interest and motivation because these little rewards are highly motivating and also they help them, that is the children, to focus on their study matter and complete their task. Then we have to make their learning fun and interactive. Anybody who does something is out of curiosity and attention. But if that curiosity is missing, if the interactive your strategy is missing, children are not going to study. So what can we do is we can use games, puzzles, interactive learning tools, asking them to come and speak, anything, any interactive activity. It's going to make their learning more engaging and more permanent. So what we can do is we can incorporate visuals, quizzes, and maybe sometimes educational apps also to transform a dull session into an exciting activity which is going to spark their interest in that particular subject. Now, another thing that we as educators have to keep in mind is to find a connect between their studies and their interests. So try to relate the study material, whatever they are doing, to your child's hobbies or interests. They can be taken out into the garden if they are doing science. They can be shown an aquarium if you are teaching them aquatic life. If you're teaching them colors, they can color their own fingers and make some kind of drawing. So anything which interests them, that can be incorporated as a part of their studies to make it more interesting because they like that particular activity. If they love space, use astronomy examples in maths or science. When they see this real world application of what they are learning, they are more likely to stay engaged and learn better and permanently. Learning has to be permanent. So this has to be kept in mind always. Right. And very important, we have to offer encouragement, not criticism. We know none of the children are alike. They're all different. So you can't use one stick for all of them. The same encouragement also may not be applicable to another one. So what we have to do is, as their elders and as their facilitators, we have to be supportive and positive. We must focus on their efforts rather than the outcome. This is very important. Focus on the effort that they have put in and not on the outcome. Try not to criticize them and never ever compare. Comparison with anyone, their siblings or their friends, is a very demotivating factor. So when we talk to them, when they're doing something, we must provide words of encouragement and show appreciation for whatever work they've done. Okay? Show appreciation, do not criticize, and definitely do not compare. Then, routine is something which is very important for anyone, any individual. A consistent study schedule will help your students or your children to create a sense of structure. Okay, the basic, you can say the framework. So we need to establish a routine which includes regular study times, and of course, they are to be balanced with recreation and a bit of rest. Having a predictable schedule is going to help them reduce resistance to studying. If we do not have a routine, they may not want to study at all. But when they know that they have to study, there is a timetable they have to follow along with their own breaks and little, entertainment times, they are going to fit in into this schedule. This is again something very important, which I feel both as a mother and as a teacher, we have to be role models for them. If we want them to do something, we have to do it ourselves first. So, because why? Children often emulate, they copy the behavior that they observe. We have to make our children understand that learning is not a short term kind of activity, it is a lifelong process. And so we ourselves have to engage into reading, learning new skills, or discussing some interesting topics within the family or maybe in the class, depending on the situation or the place where you are in. So, your enthusiasm for learning as a parent, as a teacher, as a facilitator, it's definitely going to inspire them to view studying as something very valuable, something very important, and a life changer. It will be a positive kind of an impact on them because they see you doing it, so they will feel that it is something necessary which they need to do. Now, how to support your child's motivation effectively? You have to, sorry, no, it's okay. Patience. Okay. So motivating a child requires patience and consistency. You can't give up after a little while. These strategies have to be tailored with the preferences and the strategies that you're using. Okay, so firstly, patience is required, consistency is required, and the strategies which you're going to use are to be based on the preferences and needs of the child. And we must remember that all children are different. You have to be supportive and understanding, because if you are supportive, you're going to create a nurturing kind of an environment, which is going to encourage them to approach studying with a positive mindset. So these are the things, these are the kinds of sensibilities that we have to keep in our mind. We have to be patient, we have to be consistent, and our strategies have to be based on preferences and needs of our children. We have to be supportive and understanding to create a nurturing environment for our little ones. So thank you for today. This was what I thought that I must share before the session starts. And thank you for your support and encouragement. Do give me a few likes and comments if you feel this was good. And I'll definitely wait to hear from you. And very soon I'm going to come back with a few interesting facts on my channel, and this is going to help teachers and children for all subjects. It's not just for English, but it's going to be for everyone. So I'll stop sharing, and I'll bid you a goodbye and good night for today. Thank you, viewers, for being with me. I hope this is going to help you as educators to make your children look forward to the new session 25-26. Till I get back with my new video and presentation, it's bye-bye. Have a twinkling Tuesday tomorrow. See you soon. God bless all of you.